So a journey map is essentially a map that helps you understand the experience that your users are going through on a step-by-step way. What are we talking about as a map? It's because essentially as a map it helps guide or it helps us understand what are the different steps that someone is going through when they're going through an experience that we're looking to influence or change or affect. Why a journey? It's because it's essentially an experience that people are going through, and it can be an experience that takes place in a day, in a week, in a year, but it is an experience, and it is in a sense a journey that a single person is going through. And what it allows us to do is add an element of time. Oftentimes when we're thinking about a service that we're making, we tend to think about only our service or only how people might use our service. But in reality, there's a lot of different elements, and there's a certain structure to a journey map. So how are people finding out about your service? How are they becoming aware of it? How do they join or subscribe to something? How do they use it? How do they leave it afterwards when they're done? When you have an idea of all the steps that they went through, then you're able to understand the pain points. What are the parts that are high? What are the best parts of this? What are the worst parts of this? How can I intervene perhaps in the worst parts of these, or how can I develop a service that fits into their experience or into their life in a way that makes sense? And so, for example, we had done a project with newborn mothers for the Ontario government. The Ontario government obviously is quite limited in the amount of services they can supply to newborn mothers. We were really interested to understand the overall experience, from when they prepare the pregnancy to after they give birth to as they raise a child, a toddler. And the reason why is because we really want to understand where our services fit in that experience and where our services could fit better, where were opportunities for us to better support newborn mothers as a government. And so even in your service, even though you might not necessarily be changing or influencing their entire experience, understanding that entire experience is really important in order to understand how your service fits in that. And then beyond that, you can start to develop what we call a future state journey map. So not just map out your user journey current experience, but use that as a basis to imagine the future. And so in designing a future state journey map, you're thinking about how does your service impact them, and what would their user experience or user journey look like with your new service. There's a lot of different examples of types of journey maps. Oftentimes, many people do them like steps, so step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I've seen other journey maps in which people have made them on a physical layout. So if you're talking about urban spaces, you can imagine how a person moves in the space and the journey that they might have within their neighborhood or within a certain environment, and that becomes a different type of journey map. So there are a lot of different types of journey maps that you can look at for inspiration, but the principal idea is that you're looking at their experience across time, and you're discovering spaces in which you can improve and help that experience, and it helps guide the design decisions of your service or business.